Hello everyone, welcome to my week 1 picks of the NFL season. Every week I'm going to go through my picks of every game, let you know what I think is going to happen, who's going to win, and we'll see how the season goes for me. Alright, the first game is the biggest game of the season because it starts on Thursday. Kicks off the season, everyone wants to be watching that. It's between the Broncos and the Ravens. It's going to be a tough game. The Ravens should be playing at home, however, schedule conflict has the Broncos at home for this game, and I think that's going to be a big difference. The Broncos have a chip on their shoulder from last year's playoff game against the Ravens, and, well, with Von Miller hurt, who knows how that's going to affect their defense. However, it's going to be a great game. I got the Broncos winning because they're at home. Let's move to Sunday. Sunday we have the Patriots versus the Bills. This is almost a no-brainer for me. You got the Patriots that are struggling with everything but the running back situation. The quarterback thing's been up and down. Who's going to play? Patriots, they're missing Gronk. Gronk's a big part of their offense. However, I think with Tom Brady, the Patriots will still pull this one out and beat the Bills. Our next game is Steelers versus the Titans. Steelers have a great defense. However, Titans have Chris Johnson. It's going to be a back-and-forth battle. I think the Steelers have a better defense that should be able to stop Chris Johnson, but you also have Big Ben. If they need to win a shootout, Big Ben finds a way to do that. So I'm going to go with the Steelers over the Titans in this aspect. Our next game, we're moving to NFC. We got Saints versus the Falcons, which is in my top 3 games to watch this week. You got a rematch, a rivalry here going on. Saints want to prove that last year was a huge fluke. And the Falcons, they got a new piece, Steven Jackson, to their puzzle. They're trying to finally get something done they haven't been able to get done, is get to the Super Bowl. They got a lot of weapons. Their offense looks sick, but they are playing in New Orleans, so I'm going with the Saints with this pick. Our next one is the Bucks versus the Jets. Now the Jets, they've been a disaster. They're always a disaster. The quarterback situation is up and down. Sanchez, I think, is the starter, but I'm not quite sure. In the Bucks, they got Doug Martin. He's supposed to have an explosive year this year, and I'm still a fan of Freeman. I think he's getting more experience. He's getting older, and he'll become a better quarterback. He's got some nice weapons in Tampa Bay, so we'll see how that goes. And we'll move on to the Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think these are two teams that are going in complete opposite directions. The Chiefs spent the whole offseason rebuilding, new coach, new quarterback. They're on their way up. I really think they do. They have a chance to kind of make a dent in the AFC this year, even doing that the AFC is pretty weak. I think it's a no-brainer with the Chiefs winning this game. MGD is about the only thing they have, so I'm going with Chiefs. Then we'll move to another QB battle with the Seattle Seahawks playing the Patriots. Panthers. Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson will be a great game. I think it will be fun to watch. You got Russell Wilson being more of a pocket passer versus the playmaker of Cam Newton. Both teams are suffering some offensive injuries. Seattle's with the wideouts, Panthers with the running back situation, but I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be a fun game, and Seattle's defense wins it for them against the Panthers. About that, we'll go into a defensive struggle with the Bears versus the Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals and the Bears both have great defenses. They always kind of have, even when they weren't that good of a team. The Bears have a new coach from Canada. See how that goes, how that offense clicks and binds. Jay Cutler throwing to Marshall. It's going to be an all-day event, but I think due to that, Andy Dalton and the Bengals will win with A.J. Green. I think it's a better matchup and better companionship there. We're going to move on to what I would like to call the toilet bowl. That's right, the Browns versus the Dolphins. This is not going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be very boring if you like high-scoring games. Both teams have a decent defense. Both can stop one another. There's not much explosion except for the run game. You have Trent Richardson versus Lamar Miller, and that's about it. I'm going to give this one to the Browns over the Dolphins. I think the Browns' defense is probably a little better, and I think with Lamar Miller's a little less experience, I think it's going to play off in the Browns winning this game. Another fun defensive game that I think the defense is going to determine it in the end is the Lions versus the Vikings. Yes, you have AP. How's this defensive battle? In the end, it's a battle of AP versus that Lions defensive line. And that's basically how this game's going to be decided. Who's going to win that battle? I think the Lions defensive line is a lot better than AP on his own. AP's hurting. They lost their fullback. I think AP's going to really miss him after this week of not getting protected by him. So I'm going Lions over the Vikings. Then we have the Colts versus the Raiders. I believe Terrell Pryor has been named the starter, which is kind of a bind for Matt Flynn. He's been looking to be a starter for 2 years now. He hasn't got that call. This year he just had a bad camp. Last year Russell Wilson came in and looked fabulous. So that sucks for Matt Flynn. Colts got Andrew Luck. Hopefully Andrew Luck keeps his luck going. I mean, he's looked great last year for a rookie. I think he'll be fine this year. So I'm going with the Colts with this. Now my game to watch this week is the 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. I think it could be a shootout. It could be a good defensive battle. I think this game has a little bit of everything for everybody. It's going to come down to, can the Packers and Aaron Rodgers beat that 49er defense, and can the Packers contain Kaepernick? I think this is the game for the Packers to win or lose. It's going to come down to them, but I think the 49ers will come up with the win, because I think it's always been a struggle for the Packers to beat the 49ers. Our next game is the Rams and the Cardinals. This game has a chance to be fun and informational at the same time. We don't know how the Cardinals are going to do this year. They got a good quarterback. See how that goes. I think Fitzgerald is probably the happiest guy in the world. He finally has someone that can throw to him again downfield. The Rams, they're adding pieces. They're trying their best to get through what they need to get through, become a contending team. Not really questioning on the defenses here. My question is the offense going to click? Is it going to be the Rams or the Cardinals or both? I am picking the Rams in this aspect just because Bradford has more experience in their offense, and Carson Palmer's still working out some kinks for theirs. Moving to the Cowboys and the Giants, it's a Sunday night game. It's one of my top 3 of must-watch. I think it's going to be a fun game. High-flying offenses, Romo to Bryant, or Eli Manning to Victor Cruz. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of points. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to come down to a defense. Who will stop who? And I don't think either one's going to stop either one. But if I had to put my money on one, it probably would be the Cowboys. The Giants' defense has been banged up like the last year. It's a rough way to go out in a defensive aspect, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys beating the Giants. Moving to the Monday night games, since there are 2 of them, we're going Redskins versus the Eagles. It's a big question game. How's RG3's knee? How's Chip Kelly's offense? Which one's going to look better? Being that RG3 doesn't need to run, even though he has made a lot of plays with his legs, I think RG3 is going to be fine. His doctor went on ESPN earlier and said he should be fine to play. I'm going to go with RG3 and the Redskins to win this game. Chip Kelly's offense, high-flying. They got a lot of talent that will fit that offense, but how well do they know the offense is my big question, and I think that will hurt them. And the last game for Monday night is Texans versus the Chargers. Texans have all the pieces to be a great team, and that's why I'm picking the Texans. They have a run game, passing game, and receiving game. Not only that, their defense looks stellar. You got A.J. Watt always breaking up passes, and if he's not breaking up the pass, he's breaking up the quarterback. Sacks, swats, you name it. He is the captain of SWAT. That's my pick. Texans win that one. No-brainer for me. The Chargers, there's not much to talk about. They've been a struggling team for the last 3 or 4 years. So those are my picks. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching games on Sunday. I know I will. And good luck to you all in your fantasy leagues. Thank you. You guys have a good night.